Albino Omega, a sling stone to save a wolf cub. The Alpha King found her bleeding. The forest was too still. Snow lay heavy across the northern pines, muting every sound until even the wind seemed afraid to speak. Alara Arden felt the silence like a warning, the kind that wrapped around the bones before danger struck. She should have kept walking, but then it came, a cry, high and thin and heartbreakingly small. A wolf cub. Her body moved before thought could argue. She stepped off the trail, boots sinking into powder, white hair catching. The light of the dying sun. The cold bit her skin through the tears in her gloves, but she didn't stop. Hey family, welcome to Ken's Romance Stories. Where are you watching from today? Drop your country or city in the comments. And I'm wishing you peace, warmth, and a little miracle to end your day. Now lean close. This is a story of courage, fate, and a love born from the edge of death. Alara found the cub moments later. He was small, no bigger than her forearm, with fur white as new snow and a back gashed open by claws. His leg twisted the wrong way, and his whimpers were fading. Standing over him were 3 rogues, scarred and snarling, their laughter slicing through the cold. "Leave him," she shouted. The rogues turned, grinning at the sight of her, pale, fragile, unarmed. One step closer, his voice a growl. "Well, what do we have here?" A ghost wandering alone. Alara's hand tightened around the worn leather sling at her belt. Her father's sling, the only thing she had left of him. She slipped a stone into it, heart pounding. 1 circle, 2. The 3rd swing sang through the air, and the stone struck the rogue above the eye. He howled and fell. The others lunged. Alara spun, dodging claws, and loosed another stone that cracked against a jaw. She dove for the cub, scooping him into her arms. But the last rogue was faster. His teeth sank into her shoulder. She screamed, twisting away, stabbing upward with her knife. The blade found his throat. Blood sprayed across the snow. The forest fell still again. Her breath came ragged, shallow. Pain burned through every nerve. The cub whimpered weakly, licking at her trembling hands. "No," she whispered, pressing her palms against his fur. "Not you. Not today." She closed her eyes and reached for the strange warmth that had always lived in her chest. It surged out now, wild and bright, her gift, the life thread, the power to heal by giving. She had never pushed it this far before, but she did now. Energy poured through her hands. The cub's wounds began to close. His legs straightened. His breathing steadied. And with every heartbeat she gave him, hers grew weaker. "Good boy," she murmured, smile fading as the world dimmed. Live. Darkness took her. A howl shattered the sky. It was too strong for such a small throat. It rolled through the mountains, through frozen rivers and valleys, summoning the wild. Wolves emerged from the trees, great white shapes, ancient and silent. They circled the fallen woman and the healed cub, lowering their heads in reverence. Moments later, another sound thundered through the woods, the approach of armored wolves. The royal guard of the Northern Territories. At their head ran a wolf larger than the rest, coat the color of pale gold. He shifted mid-stride, and the Alpha King of the North stood barefoot in the snow. Alexander Stormborn. His eyes, blue as glacier ice, found the cub first. "Fiend." The small wolf limped toward him, unhurt, wagging his tail. Relief broke across the king's face until he saw her. The woman. Her blood painted the snow crimson. White hair spread like firelight. Even from a distance, something in him broke open. The bond hit him like lightning. "Mate." He dropped to his knees beside her. "Healers," he roared. "Now." The guards rushed forward. Alexander pressed 2 fingers to her throat, faint pulse fading fast. He had felt bonds before, false and fleeting, but never like this. This was gravity, a thread tying his soul to hers. "She's dying," one healer whispered. "She saved my son," Alexander said. "You will save her." They carried her to the palace, the journey slow and cold. The king never let go of her hand. He held his son with one arm, his mate with the other, and prayed to a goddess he had long stopped believing in. When they arrived, he ordered her taken to his private chambers, where royal healers worked through the night. Her name was found in her satchel, Alara Arden. A rogue Omega, a healer, no pack, no family. But to Alexander, she was already everything. She woke 6 days later. Soft light filtered through lace curtains. Her body ached, but she was warm, alive. A small boy lay asleep beside her, hand gripping hers. When she stirred, he blinked awake and gasped. "You woke," he said, crawling into her arms. "You fixed me." "Thank you." Alara smiled weakly, brushing his hair back. "You're all right, little one." "You saved my life," said a deep voice. She turned. Alexander stood near the window, dressed in dark velvet. Even exhausted, he looked like a painting of winter given breath. "You're safe," he said gently. "You're in Valkyr Palace. You've been unconscious for 6 days." "The cub," she whispered. "Finn," he said. "My son." Her breath caught. "You're the Alpha King." He nodded once. "And you, Alara Arden, saved my heir." She tried to sit up, wincing. "I didn't mean to." He crossed the room and caught her shoulders, steadying her. "You nearly died. You gave him your life force. You're a life weaver. That's impossible. That gift is extinct," he finished. "Until you." Alara looked away, tears brimming. "I wasn't trying to be a hero. I just couldn't watch him die." "That," Alexander said softly, "is why you are one." Days passed. The king visited every morning. Sometimes he brought books, sometimes silence. He never pressed, never demanded gratitude. He simply watched her heal and wondered how someone so fragile could hold so much strength. Finn adored her. He followed her everywhere, tugging her sleeve, showing her toys. For the first time since his mother's death, he laughed again. In time, Alara grew stronger. She walked the palace gardens, snow melting beneath her steps. And every day, she and Alexander spoke a little more of the past, of duty, of loneliness. One evening, she found him in the library. "You've been avoiding rest," she said. He smiled faintly. "Kings don't sleep easily." "And mates?" she asked before she could stop herself. He met her gaze. "Mates sleep when the other half of their soul does." She looked away, heart fluttering. "I don't remember agreeing to that." "I didn't ask you to," he said. "The bond doesn't need your permission to exist, but your heart does." He stepped closer, slowly, giving her time. "I'll wait until it says yes." Weeks turned into months. Alara learned to control her gift, healing without losing herself. She grew beloved among the people for her kindness and quiet courage. But not everyone welcomed her. Noble families whispered, "An albino rogue as Luna? A healer with no lineage?" During a council meeting, a lord sneered, "She has no right to stand beside the king." Alexander's voice cut through the chamber. "She saved my heir when warriors failed. Her right is written in blood, not titles." Alara touched his hand under the table. "Let them speak. They'll learn." And they did. That spring, in the palace garden, Alara sat weaving daisy crowns with Finn. Alexander approached, his presence calm, steady. Finn placed a crooked crown on his head. "Now you're pretty, Dada." He laughed softly. "If your mother made it, then yes, I am." Alara blushed. "I'm not your queen." "Not yet," he said. Her voice trembled. "You barely know me. I know enough. You fight for life even when it hurts. You love without asking for anything back. That's more than enough." He brushed a strand of hair from her cheek. "When you're ready, I'll be here." The night of the full moon arrived clear and cold. The palace shone with silver banners. Wolves gathered from across the north. The air itself seemed to hum. Alara stood before a mirror in a gown of soft blue and silver. Her hair glowed white in the candlelight. Her reflection looked like the goddess she'd prayed to when she was no one. Outside, the wild wolves waited in a circle, eyes bright with recognition. Alexander stood before her, dressed in white and gold, crown glinting under the moon. He took her hand. "Are you sure?" She nodded. "I've been running my whole life, but I'm done running." The ceremony began. The moon watched. When Alexander marked her, the bond flared, warm, eternal, sacred. Cheers rose. The wild wolves howled. Finn ran up the aisle, nearly tripping over his robes, holding the rings. "Does this mean she's my mom now?" he asked breathlessly. Alara knelt, tears shining. "Only if you want me to be." "I want," he said, throwing his arms around her neck. "Best mom ever." The court laughed, clapping, and the king's eyes glistened with quiet pride. He bent her ear. "Welcome home, my queen." Hey family, thank you for watching Ken's Romance Stories. If Alara and Alexander's love story warmed your heart, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share it. I'm wishing you peace, courage, and a love that finds you when you least expect it. Until next time, stay kind, stay brave, and keep believing in love.